What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Another episode of Johnny VTV Live. I'm yours truly, Johnny VTV. Join with me, my guys, Kyle Donnelly and Nick Durst, live from Florida, like myself. How we doing, boys?
Another day in the life of America.
I'm working here. It's raining. Heat wave across the country right now. So, people say things are heating up in sports. I think things are cooling down here because there's not many teams left in hockey or basketball here, and football really isn't gearing up yet. So it's going to really just be baseball here, and we're going into the All-Star break, and there's still a lot of question marks out there. We got to see who's going to buy, who's going to sell. Hopefully we'll have a guest on in a few weeks to talk trade deadline, but really it's just going to be a lot of baseball here starting next week. Just baseball up until August.
Dog days of summer.
Certainly look like you're ready for vacation down in Florida. You know, you got the shirt, you got the fresh cut.
I'm here working. I am here working though, so not on vacation.
What are you doing for work?
I'm doing my job, man. Can't disclose much more on the show.
Classified information?
Kyle, this isn't Match.com. Would you stop?
You know, I think is that Matt Barnes? No.
Shut up. We're not starting with that.
Good job by the Red Sox though to sweep the Yankees.
We're not starting with the Yankees, the Red Sox. I don't want to hear shit about the Red Sox today. Nothing about Matt Barnes. We'll save it for a couple weeks.
Let's talk about the Yankees though.
No, later. We got somebody to talk baseball with us. Everybody stop. Let me do my thing, huh? Ashbet. Let's start it off here. We're closing in on the NBA Finals. Let's give it a preview. Nick, walk me through the NBA Finals matchup here that we're going to see.
I don't know. I mean, I guess we're going to see the Bucks and the Suns, right? So Chris Middleton was incredible in the last game and could be the emerged player of the night tonight. We shall see. But Giannis, in the Nets series, he scored the most points ever in the paint since Shaq did it in like 2000 or 2001. And Giannis is in the paint. He's unstoppable. Middleton was going off 38 points. When those two are firing all cylinders, tough to stop. And then last night, the Clippers stayed alive. But how weak is Kawhi Leonard in a must-win game? You go. It's either win or go home. You don't play. And Paul George is one confused guy because after Game 4, when they are trailing 3-1, he goes, "Oh well, the next game's a must-win." Oh, you don't think it's a must-win? If you lose the game, your season's over. It's gotta get these guys some media classes, but I don't know, Kyle. I think Kawhi Leonard, he's getting paid the big bucks. He should have played. But despite him not playing, they win.
Yeah, I mean, Kawhi's got to play in that spot. There's no doubt about that, Nick. That being said, I mean, Phoenix is also a badass team themselves. I mean, they're just, loaded up and down the roster, but let's focus on the Eastern Conference here a little bit. The Bucks, they're just going to kind of just rolling through here. And, Giannis, obviously we got to give credit his due there. But, I mean, Chris Middleton, man, is just an absolutely underrated silent assassin is what he's doing on the court. And I honestly believe that, Bucks getting in the finals, advancing over the Hawks, don't be surprised for Chris Middleton winning the MVP in the finals.
That's actually an intriguing point because the Bucks coming into the NBA Finals, with the Final Four, I should say, with the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference Finals, the Bucks were the favorite, the betting favorite to win the whole thing. Now, of course, most of the books had Greek Freak to win the Finals MVP, but a lot of times it's always good money to put some money on the guy that not everybody's really looking at. Like Chris Middleton's a big reason for the Bucks' success this year, but everybody's really honing in for Greek Freak to come out every game, put up 30, 15, and 10, and run away with the MVP when a guy like Chris Middleton, who if he's playing his role very well and he's doing something that can really contribute to the team, then hey, you never know. He might he might grab some votes here.
Yeah, I think there, if you're looking from a betting perspective, there's minimal value in betting Giannis Antetokounmpo or Devin Booker for MVP. You got to go with Middleton or Chris Paul, or maybe if you want to go DeAndre Ayton. I think that's the value fix right there.
100%. Hey guys, listen, I don't want to interrupt the NBA Finals talk, but as promised, the new friend of the show, JohnnyVTV Live, we have the one and only Jersey resident, Frank the Tank. How you doing, buddy?
All right.
What's going on, man? Thank you for joining the show. We're excited to have you.
Well, I just got something new to my collection.
Lysol wipes, I like it.
What kind of collection?
Replica rings.
Let's see that bad boy.
1986 Mets?
Nope, I already have that one.
Devils.
I have a Devils ring.
Not a boy. He's smart. He's smart about his hockey.
This is actually a replica of the 1972 undefeated Miami Dolphins. And this is the Super Bowl VIII Miami Dolphins.
Very nice, man.
And I also got the AFC Championship ring from '84.
Oh, with the Ace Ventura thing. Remember that from Ace Ventura with
laces out. Laces out.
Yeah, that was a good one. Frank, do you wear those on game day? Is that part of like your superstition, like your ritual?
I don't know. I've never worn them before. My fingers are kind of a little fat, so they really don't fit well.
Are they more for collectible?
Yeah.
So Frank,
you think? Oh God, John.
We really appreciate you joining us. So let's get right into the nitty gritty. You're a big baseball guy. So before we go into New York talk, dude, what the hell is going on with this sticky stuff thing? Mariners' Hector Santiago is the first pitcher ejected and suspended for a violation of sticky stuff. It was rosin found on the glove, which is also on the back of the pitcher's mound. Now they're making this a big deal. Is it a big deal? What do you think?
It's just Rob Manfred continuing to shoot himself and the sport in the foot. It's just this. He just cannot fucking help himself. He is just so fucking incompetent. It's a total fucking disgrace.
Well,
Frank,
Frank, what about pine tar with the batters? Shouldn't they ban that? Make things an even playing field?
It's ridiculous. It totally is ridiculous. He keeps fucking with the goddamn sport. He keeps fucking things around, and he doesn't know how to fucking stop it. He changes the baseball every year. He juiced it up one year. Now he's dead in it.
So Frank, you know what? We've had these conversations for the past few weeks. One thing I don't really like, I personally don't like Rob Manfred. I think
he is the biggest disgrace in the history of professional sports.
I agree. He actually makes Roger Goodell look like
he
one
makes
of the best
He makes Roger Goodell look like
the Pope.
No.
So the problem is here, Manfred every year, like you said, is changing the game. He's changed the baseballs like every year for the past like 6 or 7 years or whenever he got in. The baseballs are always changing because they want more offense, more home runs. Now he's doing this stuff with that's been going on for over 130 years with, players using stuff on the baseball, which is not a big deal. Like professional ball players and college players, minor leaguers that I'm friends with, they're like, this is not a big deal. Everybody uses it. And now you have nothing. And I feel like in an effort to try and make this game more popular and appeal to the younger generations, which you're going to watch the game or you're not going to watch the game. This is not going to be an interest to you one way or the other. But now he's disgracing the game and the integrity and the way it's played to appeal to people that don't really give a shit about the game in the first place. And now he's starting to piss off the people that really love the game, like you, me, Nick, and Kyle, for example. So that's really what turns me off. And I was telling the boys, I was like, listen, if he's going to take away the sticky stuff, then guess what? Get rid of batting gloves too. Get rid of it and really level the playing field.
He is a joke of a commissioner, a total joke.
Well, the All-Star games in Colorado, why don't they use aluminum bats for the home run derby? I think that would be a good event.
I honestly don't know what the fuck this man is doing. He's either just totally hates baseball or he's totally fucking incompetent.
Obviously, the latter on that one.
Frank, don't hold back, baby. Let it fly. Whatever you're feeling, just let us know.
I call him Rob Manfred because he is Rob Manfred.
Dude, honestly, 100%, man. I mean, like, this game is just a guy like Tyler Glasnow, for example, he was very emotional. He's like, how can you do this? We throw 80-something innings, and in the middle of the season, out of nowhere, with no warning, no ability to adjust, you just tell us we can't use this stuff. And, you know, listen, Glasnow has had a history of injuries, but he looked great. He was putting it all together this year, and he looked fine, didn't get hurt at all. And then the first start, he can't use something. Now, listen, I'm not a huge believer in coincidences anymore, so I feel like this could have some type of relation. I mean, I think that night was really hot and muggy in Chicago, but still, I mean, it's just it begs to ask the question. And it's something also that you could bring up with Garrett Cole of the Yankees that we're going to get into later. But I think just the fact that there has been no compromise, this wasn't done before the season. They didn't wait till after the season. It's just thrown too many curveballs, pun intended, to, you know, not have the pitchers get any adjustments. And now it could be leading to injuries. Look at this. Max Scherzer, Shane Bieber, and Tyler Glasnow all go down in the span of 24 hours. Pitchers, I mean, okay, fine. Fair enough. You know, Scherzer had a groin thing, but still, this has got to be something that's more than a coincidence, no?
This man does not care about the players. He does not care about anything. He is just pure, he's a vile human being. He is terrible. He is awful, and it's just pretty bad how bad a commissioner he is. I mean, they could not. He's not a good person. He's just terrible. Everything he does, everything he's done to touch this game has been terrible. Everything he's done has been a poor decision. He has not done anything good. He calls the World Series trophy a piece of tin. Yet he protects the Astros from the cheating scandal. You can't. He orders people to not be able to bring trash cans in to mock the Astros. He bans shirts that say Houston Asterisks. He fines players for going after the Astros. Yeah, I mean the Astros basically threaten the integrity of the sport, and he doesn't give a fuck. But meanwhile, the pitchers, he goes after them hard. It's like when Bud Selig looked the other way for the steroid scandal. This man is a con man. He's a con artist. He is a total fucking joke. He's a fraud.
Frank, I think that, you know, with the way he's doing things, we're not going to have a season next year. The players are
there's a very good shot that happens.
Now, do you think that the players are so ingrained, Frank, that, you know, they're in belief with these conspiracy theories that Rob Manfred is like you said, juicing the balls one year, and then this year with the rosin and the grip and trying to control the free agent market, and that's essentially pissing off the Players Association?
I mean, he is a total disgrace, just total disgrace. A bad guy. There's no other way to describe it.
So we got Boats and Hose saying, whoa, player strike. So, I mean, listen, I never thought that there was going to be a strike. I think in professional sports nowadays, it's just not going to happen because the amount of money it takes to settle is just not worth it in the long run that these leagues are going to know.
I heard he might be willing to have a 2-year lockout to break the players, to change the whole sport. He wants to have East-West. He wants to radically realign baseball. He wants to radically change the game. He wants to reduce baseball to 7 innings. He hates this sport. I honestly believe that.
Frank, you might be right. And as a proud New Yorker, we got a couple people here tuning in, and one of them wants to know, he's leading us into our next segment. Frank, what's up with the Mets, man? Let's hear your thoughts. That leads us into Are the Mets getting ready for a big second half run? What do you think?
They're gonna be terrible in the second half. They're gonna be like the Diamondbacks. The wins are gonna be few and far between.
Why do you say
Frank,
that?
have you ever seen have you been more frustrated as a fan of a first place team? This team's atrocious.
Yes.
I saw you at Citi Field last time the Mets were really good. That Saturday afternoon 4:00 game with Stroman, and since then on the mound, Lindor actually did something. He had a home run in the first inning. Since then, they've been horrible. They lost 9 of 12 games. Pathetic.
I mean, it's putrid. The Mets are gonna average less than a run a game. It's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be a nightmare.
Now, sorry, John, do you see them being buyers at the trade deadline, or do you see them selling?
They're going to be forced to sell. I think we're going to see over the next 6 weeks, the Mets are going to not win 10 games. They're going to be 20 games under 500 by the end of August.
Frank, not for nothing. I mean, they're sitting pretty in pretty decent shape right now. Heading into the All-Star break.
Nope, Donnie Stevenson is their new hitting coach, a literal fake coach. And everyone is just swinging and just blindly and leaping and swinging, launch and lunge. That's their philosophy.
Frank, do you think that Francisco Lindor's agent is like a legalized bank robber? Because, geez, I mean, this guy stole so much money from Steve Keller.
He's gonna bat one. He's not even gonna bat 180. He's gonna bat like 140. It's a total nightmare.
Listen, Frank, as a lifelong Mets fan, not for nothing, I understand the pessimism, and we can't get ourselves too excited because, at the end of the day, they always break our hearts. That's what they do. But, I mean, is this past fanhood kind of dwelling on you a little bit right now? I mean,
it just every year, it's just the same bullshit.
How about Dom Smith? Everyone's like, oh, he's going to be an all-star. The guy can't even hit. He can't hit anything right now.
Well, Dom Smith has really just fallen off the cliff with his trade value.
They could have traded him in the offseason straight up for Nolan Arenado or Trevor Story or really anybody or a pitcher. They need pitching now. I don't know. Syndergaard's not pitching this year, Frank, and Carrasco's going to miss the whole season too, I think.
You mean Carlos Lowry?
Yeah, Lowry, he's doing great with the Oakland Athletics, of course.
And meanwhile, the Nationals never friggin' lose. Kyle Schwarber just hit another fucking homer.
The Mets should have walked him to lead off the game yesterday intentionally. I don't know what they're thinking pitching to him.
Honestly, what the hell is going on with Kyle Schwarber? It's like he took they showed this video of him from like a couple weeks ago where he's telling the media, hey, listen, this is a good team. Don't give up on us. Don't give up on us. Bro, since then, he's got like 11 home runs in 13 games. Like Kyle Schwarber,
the Mets have 6 in that time stretch.
Dude, Schwarber's on some other shit right now. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I mean, dude, he's putting him. Did you see the shot he hit last night? It was a triple decker. It was probably the farthest ball ever hit in that stadium.
It's just every day, and
he might be the most powerful leadoff hitter that we've ever seen. I mean, he's giving Acuna a run for his money right now, and even Trout. Jesus Christ, this guy's launching piss missiles left and right.
Well, the question becomes with him then, as somebody pointed out in our comments, is he juicing? That has to become a question now.
Oh, without a doubt. But baseball is just.
Come on, he was always a big dude.
The cheaters always get away with it, and the people. The people who don't know how to cheat get caught.
Now, the only reason I say that, John, is because of the fact that he was coming off his injury with Chicago with the ACL, maybe trying to recover and get back to that form.
I mean, listen, he's always had the potential. What he's doing right now is somewhat what all these teams thought he was going to be. He's had the injuries. He wasn't living up to the billing. He's shown flashes here and there throughout his career, but now it looks like he's finally putting it all together. And I think this is what teams were like, okay, this is what we were expecting to see from this guy.
Well, he did lead the Cubs to a World Series when he came back for the playoffs. So
now the
Cubs fans
the
probably
Nationals
like
are going to
him.
win another one. The Mets lead's going to be down to fucking 2.
Looks like the Nationals are a team to beat in the NL East, Frank.
Ever since that stupid baby shark, they have not lost since that guy came at home. They have 101 home games this year with that stupid song.
Frank, I got to ask you about the Mets. How's the
And
polar
Kyle
bear?
Schwarber is going to be Kyle Schwarber is going to be loaned to every team this year the Mets play. He's going to hit 177 homers.
Hey Frank, you know what's funny? We thought before Schwarber got on his like torrid hot streak, we thought that the Nationals might actually be sellers. Not, I didn't think so. I actually picked them preseason to be in the NLCS, believe it or not, as a surprise team. I mean, this is when I thought they were going to be fully healthy, and honestly, they still could be.
And they always had to play it, and they had that Scott Nantel going, "You gotta love this team. You gotta love this team. Hey, Mets fans, we're coming for you." And he's even singing, "Scott Nantel, the best thing I saw today. Anytime a New York team loses, that stupid fucking ballhead it is, fucking run Sports Center."
Frank, stay with us, man. Come on, don't yeah. Listen, hey, listen. It always could be worse. You could be a Twins fan right now.
Well, the Twins will have a better chance to go to anywhere. The Mets are going to completely fade away fast.
Okay, let me ask you a question here. Right? Let's say the Mets win 90 to 100 games, somewhere in that, and they take the division. What's your feeling going to be? How are you going to feel? Aside from the typical, I already could sense it coming through your screen at me, is that, no, they're going to blow it. They're going to lose the Dodgers.
The first 2 pitches of the game, by the way, today, in the dirt, McNeil leaping up and swinging.
I don't know what to do about that.
He's a flying squirrel.
So, Frank, the question becomes, how do you feel about
heading up?
How do you feel about the basically half of the Mets lineup hitting under 250?
250 would be a fucking improvement.
Yeah, they're like 220. Lindor's 170.
I don't think McNeil's gotten a hit since he's come back. He actually got fucking hit in the fucking heel. So he's on base, which means Lindor's up. Lindor is 0 for his last 17.
It's promising. Frank, not for nothing, though. They're 40 and 34, still got a few game lead in the division. I mean, and the game just started here, so is it this much reason to just fly off the handle?
I'm just sick and tired of these terrible swings.
That's fair. So let's move on because we're gonna talk about the other New York team shortly. But
that team is just poorly constructed.
Got the brooms.
Brian Cashman has gotten they're ridden on those laurels for a long time. And Aaron Boone is basically his shield from him getting the full brunt of the criticism.
Hold on. Let's put a pin on that one for now. Before that, take us through this inside rivalry that you have with Barstool Nate. What's the deal with that, man? Because
he's just a fucking jackass. I don't know what else that I can say. He always has these snide comments. It's not just to me; he makes snide comments to everybody. But he just rubs me the wrong way.
Like what specifically rubs you the wrong way about him?
Just his demeanor and how he just talks to people.
What do you think about Adnan Virk? You think he should have been hired by TNT for the NHL coverage?
Who did they hire? I don't know who they.
I don't know, but how about ESPN putting their roster out there? They don't bring Gary Thorne back. I mean, what are they thinking?
Well, Gary Thorne is a little old.
Gary Thorne's still one of the greats, though.
Maybe TNT will be smart enough to hire him.
They should.
I mean, Marv Albert's 80.
Right.
You can still do it, though, man.
QB Brown's 88.
Yeah,
Al Michaels has got to be 80, right?
Not quite.
I mean, those boys are still doing it though. I mean, they're at a high level still.
Well,
still calling
Lindor
these
just
games.
had to sacrifice his bunt. Now here comes Michael Conforto, and his
At least Lindor's finally
050
doing what he should be doing. Bunting.
050 batting average with runners in scoring position, which means the Mets will once again. Jeff McNeil should just walk out to the field and give him his glove now.
Wait, hey Frank, who's your favorite person to work with at Barstool?
I don't know. Roan's good. The Big Cat, the Frankettes, Nick and KB. Vibs is good.
But your number one person, if you have one person to pick,
It's really tough to say.
tough to say.
Who's your bottom four? Mount Rushmore of horrible.
Well, I'll definitely say Nate.
I would say Nate goes number one.
I really don't know who else to put down there, to tell you the truth.
How about Dave? How you feel about Dave? With
Dave is fine. Dave is fine.
So let me ask you something with the Nate thing though. Is it like some people think it might be like a little just to kind of like drum up buzz? Is it like legit? You guys legit don't like each other?
Like, is it Sal versus Baba Booey, or is there some real brewing hatred there?
He just rubs. All I know is he just rubs me the wrong way.
That's fair. Well, Frank, we don't want to.
Michael Conforto, 2-0 count. Basically, just had a horrible looking swing at a ball that was outside.
Frank, let's switch it over here to the other New York team. So tell me, what's up with the Garrett Cole drop down as well as the New York Yankees? I mean, they're in like a flat out nosedive, and you were just alluding to it before with Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone.
It's a poorly constructed team.
Why? What is poorly constructed about it?
No good starting pitchers and no lefties at Yankee Stadium.
Well, let me ask you a question. So one of my best friend, who I also do another podcast with for another network, he's a huge Yankees fan. He's as big of a Yankees fan as you are a Mets fan. And he's like, I can't stand the way the Yankees are built either. And I was like, why? And he goes, because Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman, they're way too analytical for the game. Like they think analytics win this game.
Yeah, and analytics is ruining baseball. And now Pete Alonso just a soft pop fly. Oh, it actually landed in the seats.
I'm not looking for dirt on Dave. I'm just asking how he feels about
That's a fair question.
Barstool's most popular person. That's all.
That's a fair question. I'm trying to get dirt on him.
What's worse, analytics in sports or NJ Transit?
Analytics in sports is ruining it. These fucking harebrained fucking piece of shit fucking nerds with their goddamn pocket squares who don't know a fucking thing about the heart and intangibles. They've removed the intangibles, and all it is swing for the fences, and it's fucked the game up royally.
You know what, man? I actually really do agree with you on that. I can't stand the analytics. Like I can't stand out of nowhere, and it's really come up in the last like 5 to 8 years.
And
I would
another
say.
easy peasy lemon squeezy ending.
Yeah, so I think it's.
And Ronald Acuna just pointed out to the scoreboard. We're going to score 4, he says.
Yeah, man. Well, anyway.
And the Rays, and the Nationals got Gerald Power just hit a homer. And they're all saying the whole world singing, "Hey, Shaq, do." The Nationals will never lose again.
Hey, Frank, take it easy, right?
They're gonna have Parra and Schwarber. Gerald Parra is 10 for 10 against the Mets with 9 extra base hits.
That's unfortunate. But in any case, Frank,
and every time they hit that song, and they hit it for 20 minutes, dude. And even Luis Rojas is doing the damn stupid thing.
Oh, Rojas, you must love his managing, Frank.
He has no fucking pulse. No fucking pulse.
So, Frank, do you think so? Nick asked a question here. Do you think Garrett Cole was a cheater with this stuff, or it's it falls under the line of what you're saying about man fraud and
I think
this?
a lot of it's psychological, and the fact that Manfred put this on them this late has really fucked up the season.
Without a prior adjustment, like I was saying about Tyler Glasnow, right? Like his comments.
If you gave them a spring training, then I think things will be a little different.
Like,
I think that these players should be allowed to use it at a limited amount. Don't let them use it too much, but just limited amount.
That's a fair point. Where do you, real quick though, where do you see the Yankees going here? Do you think they're going to be big time buyers? They're going to make a huge acquisition around the deadline?
They'd be delusional if they did.
But like they need for example, they need a lefty bat. Like a Schwarber would have been perfect. Now the asking price is going to be ridiculous.
They will be the Nationals are going to win. Are going to run away with the NL East. They're now only 2 games behind the Mets. They don't lose, and the Mets don't win. And Kyle Schwarber is going to end the year at 92 home runs.
They're 3 games behind right now.
Well, the Mets are going to lose, and the Nationals are going to win. Well, the Rays came out singing, "Why can't we be friends?" The Rays actually had a shirt. They were wearing a T-shirt. Help the Nats weekend.
So do you think do you think they're gonna go get a lefty bat like a Jesse Winker, the Yankees?
That would be a smart move, but
wasn't it a great move trading Adam Ottavino to the Red Sox to bolster their pen? Him and Matt Barnes just killing the Yankees this past weekend with the sweep.
Or do we sell Matt Barnes at his absolute highest because he's been a bum basically his whole career?
I literally don't know what the Yankees are doing. They literally look like they're just totally fucking confused. And seriously, Brian Cashman needs to go.
Is that because he's gotten too comfortable with his job?
I think 20 years creates a situation where someone gets stale, someone gets complacent, and the Yankees look like a team that just is complacent and not really knowing what they're doing.
So I actually thought, with the Red Sox, we were going to save it, but I guess we'll talk about it now. That they have a couple guys like they're on the fence too. I mean, they're leading the AL East right now, but like I think it's gonna, like the San Francisco Giants. I think eventually, like when you get to the dog days of late August, they're gonna fade just because they're pitching. Even though they might have Chris Sale coming back, you never know with that. But they're pitching. There's nobody really reliable. So now I think at this point, if you're leading arguably the best division in baseball at the All-Star break, you got to go for it. No point of selling off assets. Like their offense was never the issue. It was just their pitching. I mean, they got some real star power even after trading Mookie Betts in that lineup.
Yeah, well, the Red Sox, I could definitely see them landing a big pitcher.
Like who would you like to see them go get?
Yeah, please let me know, Frank.
Who's really available? I mean,
Scherzer. If they start selling,
no,
because
the Nationals are going to run away with the NL
Jose
East.
Berrios from the Twins will be the big name available, even though he's not that great.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
And do you want to overpay? Sorry, Frank, but do you want to overpay for a guy like Berrios if he's not that great?
Look at the Diamondbacks. They might have a pitcher or two that should become available.
Bumgarner.
No, he's washed.
I was to say, is the tread too much on his tires now?
Oh, and he's hurt too, I think. I don't know if he's come back. I know he got hurt against the Mets. I don't know the last time he's actually pitched.
Maybe the Mets will trade Stroman. They're probably not going to re-sign him, Frank, if they're sellers.
Yep. Yeah, sellers, and the Mets get the 18th.
Frank, don't break your glasses.
180th ranked prospect in the Diamondbacks in the Red Sox system. Merrill Kelly, that's the guy I was thinking of.
Oh, Merrill Kelly. Yeah, he's meds on meds. No, nothing special. At least off the bat.
As a Sox fan, I really don't want to spend and go buy for arm if I am just going to get one of these mediocre arms and I'm going to give up a lot of prospects.
The Diamondbacks are a total fucking mess.
I mean, they got some pieces to sell, though. They really do.
I don't understand how that manager hasn't been fired.
I mean, I think they kind of expected it. Like, you get two of their blue chips. Ketel Marte is one of the best and most underrated players in baseball. Ketel Marte is a savage.
Great outfielder.
Yeah, savage. And Eduardo Escobar. That dude hits piss missiles. He's a guy that could put out 35 bombs.
I mean, the Diamondbacks aren't just bad. They're just all inspiringly bad.
They'll probably trade Asdrubal Cabrera to the Nationals.
They're 7. They actually won a game last week, ending their 24-game road losing streak. They're 7-45 in their last 52 games.
So it's funny, Frank. We're gonna get to it a little bit later, but I'm not. I didn't really touch them in the play because the team they're playing tonight, I'm not even sold on. I don't think anybody in the league needs the All-Star break in the MLB more than the St. Louis Cardinals, who the Diamondbacks are traveling to tonight. But yeah, they lost 24 games in a row. They're like heading into like 2 nights where they were 10-32 on the road. That's brutal. Only like the Rockies are pretty much worse than that. But even against the Cardinals with Carlos Martinez, I couldn't write St. Louis off as a sure thing tonight because that dude's an absolute hot mess with over 6 ERA, absolutely sparkling ERA of 6.38. But
by the way, guess which team has been checked the most by the umpires so far this year?
Is it the Mets?
Yep.
Is there a stat on that? Can you confirm that?
I went to the game on Saturday. They were checked 4 times. The Phillies were only checked once.
What do you think about?
I went to the doubleheader last Monday against the Braves. DeGrom was checked twice. And every pitcher for the Mets was checked. Not one Braves pitcher was checked.
Frank, what do you think about Dylan Bundy blowing chunks on the mound last night?
Well, I don't know what happened there. I mean,
straight Willie Beeman moment.
Did he eat something wrong? Did he eat something that didn't disagree? Did he go to it? Did he go to
the heat? It's hot, 100 degrees.
Well, yeah, that it was, and it's been murderously hot here.
But I mean, California's hot too. So
no, it's not. No, it's not. Do you know what the weather in Southern California is on most days?
It's usually
high
nice.
70s.
No, in summer days too. They'll get a few days where it gets up to near 100 degrees, but most days in between San Diego and Los Angeles, that area, that Southern California coastal area, I'm talking about the coastal area, which is where the Dodgers and Angels play. It gets to like 85 with an ocean breeze.
You spent a lot of time out in Cali?
No, I haven't. I've never been out there, but just look at the weather forecast.
Big weather guy.
Yeah, well, that's what they were talking. Like San Diego. San Diego, it's like 80 degrees 365 days of the year.
He's a smart gambling man. He's checking the weather all the time.
Hey, Frank, let me ask you, any hopes, any thoughts of ever relocating?
Well, I'm trying to find a new place. I'm in the worst apartment in the fucking world.
You in Belleville?
Yep.
I was up in North Caldwell. I just moved down to Tampa like 6 months ago.
By the way, here is the I'll even do the Anaheim weather because that's where the Angels actually play. And the Mets continue to hit into the shift. They don't even try to hit the ball the other way.
Put a bunt down the third baseline.
I never understood that. Do you think the shift's ruining the game, Frank?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Well, Johnny, even more to that point, how about the fact that it's just ruining the game to not put the ball down the line, but make the other team get out of the shift?
That I don't understand.
Well, it's because these analytical assholes don't let it.
I agree with you, Frank. I think that's 100% true. I think it's too much.
They shifted this shift isn't new. This shift was invented in 1942 or 1940, 41-40 for Ted Williams. You know what Ted Williams started doing? Hitting the ball the other way. You know what they did? They stopped shifting.
Thank you for that Ted Williams reference, Frank. I appreciate it. Bottom of my heart.
Dom Smith grounds into the shift. Now Kevin Pillar swinging at pitches in the dirt. It's the same shit every fucking night.
Hey Frank, so I know you're a betting man, right?
The Mets are going to get no hit tonight. The Mets are going to get no hit tonight.
Frank, you're a betting man, right?
By the way, remember I told you about Anaheim weather?
Mm-hmm.
Here is the 7-day forecast in Anaheim. 81, 85, 84, 83, 83, 83, 81.
It's not that bad. It sounds pretty nice, actually.
Sounds better than what we got here in New Jersey right now.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
So that's what they get every night, every day. And the lows are 64, 64, 64, 63, 63, 63, 64.
That's a cold, bro. That's a cold 63, though. That's a cold 63. Don't make any mistake about it. You need a sweatshirt. But
isn't that the best?
Yeah, but like, dude,
80
sometimes
degrees.
It's too cold. Yeah, no,
80,
like,
but
Nah, have the sweatshirt. Have the sweatshirt. You're good.
A little nighttime chill. Is there anything wrong with that?
dude, it's more than a chill. I'm telling you. You're in 85 and sunny, hot, short sleeves, tank tops all day, and then it drops 20 degrees within a span of 20, 30 minutes. That breeze is different. You almost need a winter coat. I'm telling you, it's way different.
Well, your Guinea self might be wearing a tank top, but everybody else, I said your Guinea self might be wearing a tank top.
Don't you call me that?
Everybody else is usually wearing t-shirts.
Regardless, I'm just saying it's a cold 63. That's like a sweatshirt.
And meanwhile, the Mets just continue to flail away, flail and fail.
Well, in any case, everybody hang with me because now it's the best part of the night. The Gambling Guinea's best betting trends of the night. There wasn't a whole lot to play with in terms of the team, so we're doing a couple prop bets. First off, Nick Castellanos, the most underrated hitter in baseball, over 1.5 total bases, minus 120 from Pinnacle. Originally, he was going to be slated off to go against Blake Snell on his road, 3.25 opponent batting average against, as well as his plus 10 ERA on the road. It's a bullpen game. Castellanos, in his last 25 games dating back to June 1st, has at least one hit in 20 of them. The dude is absolutely lights out. He's an extra base hitting machine. When he wakes up in the morning, gets out of bed, he's already got 4 extra base hits. He's a savage. Next, we got Vladdy Jr. over on the 1.5 total bases. Again, the pitcher he's facing, Chris Flexen, has a road opponent batting average of 355. That's very favorable for Vladdy, who in his last 24 games dating back to June 1st has at least one hit in 20 of those games as well. In addition, Vladdy has a 8-game hitting streak on the line, red hot. No reason to not keep it rolling with these two guys. Very favorable trends. Both of them could clear the bases with 1 hit and get 4. I think 1 extra base hit from each or 2 singles is more than doable. Your Honor, no objections. How we feeling about that, boys?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I like that. Nick Castellanos, he's looking like one of those guys that we're talking about that can spray the ball. I mean, do you think that between him and Vlad Guerrero, those are 2 guys that can move the ball all over the field?
Well, Vlad Guerrero, I think we haven't even we've just seen the tip of the iceberg of what he's going to be able to do.
So, actually, Frank, it's funny you say that because another friend of the show, Andrew Cayley from Covers, he's a big Blue Jays fan. We had him on about a month ago, right before Memorial Day weekend, and this was right when Vlad was really starting to heat up. And he goes, dude, like if you ever went to a Blue Jays game, if you ever watched Vlad actually play in person, he's got a different swing. He's not only does he have a different swing than everybody else, but he's got multiple swings. So if he wants to hit one out, he's got to swing for that. He wants to spray it out to right center. That kills
the Mets. Austin Riley is batting .800 against the Mets this year.
His sound off the bat, too, is different than everybody else's.
Yep, that's another one. His sound off the bat is totally different than everybody else's. That's
you mean
one
it
of the
doesn't sound like
things.
a wet newspaper like the Mets?
Nah, it sounds like an absolute nuclear launch. Frank, so one of the things we do every week on every show, we have an emerging player of the night. Who's the guy that you feel tonight should be the center of attention, a guy who is going to emerge?
Charlie Morton, no-hitter.
Really sticking with the anti-Mets.
I love it. I'm sticking to his guns.
So, Frank, before we wrap up the show, it's not football season yet, but we know you're a diehard Dolphins fan. Take us through what you're thinking and expecting for Miami this upcoming season.
9-8.
9-8?
Forever mediocre.
Well, don't actually wait. Yeah, okay. So
now, if I could get something in there, sorry, John. How do you think Tua is going to progress this year?
Was that? I think he's gonna have his ups and downs, and this jury's still gonna be out.
I got to be honest, Frank. I'm not sold on him. I never was. I'm not sold on Bama quarterbacks in general. We haven't seen anyone really, truly work out and have a long career. I mean, there's a couple guys like a Jalen Hurts that might buck that
Once
trend.
upon a time, Alabama quarterbacks were good.
I mean, we're going back to the pyramid days then. But I mean, in all fairness, like Miami to me has one of the best, if not the best roster top to bottom. I mean, I love what they're doing. And I always say like football's more fun when the Dolphins are good. It's
been a long time.
I know, but like they were a lot of fun to watch at times last year. I think everything depends on Tua. I know they had to let Fitzpatrick go, right? But I wish they hadn't because Fitz can come in in relief if needed be, but obviously Tua has always got that in the back of his mind and can always be looking over his shoulder. But man, I do love the Dolphins and I love everything else that they've been doing. I think it's just the Tua train. So you're still, you're expecting 9-8. You think they're going to hit the playoffs?
That's probably not going to happen. They'll probably just miss again.
Who would your playoff teams be? The 7 in the AFC.
The 7 in the AFC. Let me see. I'd go Buffalo. I'll go Baltimore. I'll go Cleveland.
Chiefs.
Chiefs, Tennessee. Let me see. Chiefs, Tennessee. I'm gonna go to Colts.
Who you got winning that division?
And let me see.
Chargers.
No.
Browns?
He said Browns. He's got Browns, yeah.
Oh, you got Browns in there?
He's got to pick an AFC West team.
I picked the Chiefs.
He picked
the
the Chiefs. I'm sorry.
He's got to pick a wild card team.
Well, let me see the 3 wild cards. I'm gonna. You
Steelers.
know what? The Dolphins might sneak in.
Raiders.
It's gonna be between the Steelers, the Chargers, and the Dolphins for that spot.
Now, who do you like in the AFC South of that division there, Frank?
Tennessee.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Shut up, Kyle.
Frank, when do you think the Washington football team is going to pick a new name?
I hear it's going to be permanently Washington football team. Guess it fucking sucks.
They're going to suck this year with Fitzpatrick as their quarterback.
Hey, don't say that. Come on.
He's actually going to boost them a little bit.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Now Miguel's starting to fall apart.
Now, another question back to your Dolphins there, Frank. How do you feel about Myles Gaskin? Do you feel like he's a every down 3-back bell cow?
Hasn't shown it so far. He's pretty much been pretty bad. The Dolphins' running game was atrocious last year.
He's had some injuries though. He missed a good amount of time. I mean, when he first came on the scene, like there was moments where he was like, "Wow!" Like you really saw some potential.
That is the number one weak spot for the Dolphins, and now here it is. We got 2 runners. We're gonna have 2 runners on in a second or a home run.
Frank, let me ask you a question. Are we gonna get to see you again sometime soon for football season?
Maybe.
Well, we always
you want the NFC playoff teams?
Yeah, give me the NFC.
All right. Rodgers comes around. He plays for Green Bay. The Packers win the division.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa makes it. And by the way, the AFC is going to be leaps and bounds ahead of the NFC this year. I think the Rams and Seahawks both make it. I think Washington makes the playoffs. Win the division. Only team out of the NFC East, by the way. Which, will be another clusterfuck division.
Well, the same as last year is what you're saying.
Yep.
You got 5. I know that the Mets just walked, but
Yep. And it was right down the plate, too. And the young player shook his head, nope, and he was smiling, too.
Come on, Frank, pick the Cardinals. If Murray plays Week 17 last year, they were in the playoffs.
Yes, they do. They're in the playoffs. I think Cardinals, Rams, and Seahawks all make it out of the West. Packers in the North, Saints in the South.
Whoa!
No, I mean Buccaneers in the South. Washington in the East, and the Vikings is the 7th spot.
Oh, you don't think the Giants can sneak in, or
Nope.
it's going to be one? It's going to
Nope.
be one team.
One team in that division.
Giants
see
are
that.
looking for a quarterback after this season.
They might be.
And here come the Braves are about to take a lead, and any lead is like impossible for the Mets to top right now.
See, like, this is absolutely ridiculous. You're running this shift right now, and you got runners on first and second. Like, all the guy has to do is go run to third base, and there's nobody.
And
there.
nobody does it though.
It's the dumbest goddamn thing I've ever seen in baseball.
Joey
Absolutely
Votto
stupid.
did it the other night.
Good move by him.
So, Frank, we really appreciate you coming on tonight. It was a great show. Tell everybody where they can find you. Of course, we know, but just if they don't.
I mean, the umpiring, the state of umpiring in this game is awful. And look at this. Everybody, they keep hitting the strikes on the umpires going like this. Nope.
More final thoughts.
We got more final thoughts.
The Mets strike zone is pinpoint.
Well, for everybody here,
ever since Angel Hernandez has been named Dean of the umpires.
follow us on Twitter. I'm at _JohnnyVTV. He's at _Nick_Durst. And Frank the Tank is NJ Tank99. Kyle doesn't have a Twitter.
And the Nationals are celebrating. They have not lost a home game since that game's come back.
On Instagram, I'm at Gambling Eddie. Nick's at Nick's Food and Stuff. And Kyle's at The Kyle Donnelly. Everybody, thank you so much for joining in. Frank, we really appreciate you taking the time to be with us. And let's go Mets.
No, the Mets are... Prediction! The Mets will not win 5 games in the next 6 weeks.
That's a bold prediction. Don't put money on that one, though. All right, everybody. Till next week. Thank you very much.